everybody, this is JL and we are on Elevated Living at elevateme.org, and today is a deeper elevation. We are on the beautiful Wayne State University campus in one of their faculty and staff experimental gardens. They're growing things like beautiful red cabbage that's all purple. They've got some kale, some other greens. They're growing tomatoes and other exotic perennials and tubers. And of course we have some beautiful flowers here that are going to bloom probably well into late fall. Now, our topic today for our deeper elevation is good stewardship, and how apropos, how appropriate for us to be in a garden. You know, for those of you who are watching this blog and who are following this, a deeper elevation is going to be our exploring some mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual things that are really going to get to the heart of some of our problems and issues and just help enlighten us. And today I wanted to talk about good stewardship because that is probably the first foundation of us as being powerful human beings and having dominion and power over the things that we're given. For those of us who believe in creationism, you know that one of our first tasks was to be good stewards over the beautiful gifts of the garden and the animals that we were given, if you believe in creationism. And if you don't, or you do, you know that we're blessed to have all kinds of wonderful things at our disposal. And let's talk about, first of all, our physical selves, because we're given things physically. We're given our entire bodies. We're given our eyes and our sense of smell and taste and touch. We're given these magnificent muscles and limbs, and it's important for us to be good stewards over all of those things. So primarily, let's learn to be good stewards over our physical selves. Being a good steward over your physical self means drinking enough water. It means eating properly, because you only get one body, and you are the caretaker of that body that you did not create. You were given this by some grand scheme, some grand creation. The universe granted you this body to dwell in, and we are the maintenance people for this shell that we reside in. It's our job to keep it in tip-top shape. So good steward on a physical level means you taking care of this physical house in which you dwell. And that means being careful about who you let into your physical house. What is the neighborhood that your physical house lives in? Who are the people that you hang around? Are you being a good steward about those interactions as well? So taking care of your physical house is the first primary lesson of being a good steward. We want to talk about being a good steward over our minds, and being on a university campus is a perfect place to do that. Now, let's be clear, going to a higher level of education is not necessarily the only way to be a good mental steward, because education is all around us. Anybody who has access to this blog has access to the internet, and we know that all of the world's knowledge is contained in the internet. And so being a good steward over your mentality is not only protecting your sanity, but it's growing yourself educationally. You have to grow in order to continue to prosper, and it's our job to be fruitful and multiply, and we need to do that up here. So I want you guys to really take seriously the stewardship you have over the gifts that are mental. We know most of our gifts are mental. Most of us who have skills and talents, that comes from our mental ability, our intellect. And it's our job to be good stewards over those things. It's our job to grow our mentality, to grow in being positive, to grow in being productive, to grow in our self-worth and our self-esteem. So it's very important to protect and care for your mental self. And you have to protect your emotions. You have to protect your emotions from people, from situations. Being a good steward over your emotions is so extremely important. We are the masters of our destiny. And in order for us to really be those masters, we have to get a hold of our emotions. We have to have control of them. And it starts in taking care of your physical self and taking care of your mental self, because we know that physical things can really affect us emotionally, as can mental things. Our emotions are so vital to living a very rich and free life, and we're not constrained by worry or discontent or anger or frustration. So your emotions can really dictate what you do. So it's of vital importance that we become good stewards over our emotions. And we also need to be good stewards over our spiritual selves. And being a good steward spiritually means having a sense of a higher purpose. Some of us have a higher power and a creator. Some of us have different religions that we believe in. But you need to have a spiritual walk, whether that's meditating, whether that's going to a church or a temple or a mosque, whatever it is that leads you spiritually to feel right in your spirit. You need to nurture that. Being a good steward over your spirit means that you're going to grow in that deeper purpose and mission and calling that you may have on your life. We also need to be good stewards financially, and a lot of times we don't include that in the realm. But as we know, money is the way to help heal a lot of ills. Not that it is the end all be all, definitely not. We cannot put money first, but we must understand that money is extremely important, and you have to learn to be a good steward over your money. We also want you to be a good steward over your time, and I know this one is one that I've struggled with, because a good steward over their time, you have to be careful about where you spend your time, who you spend your time with, because time is of utter importance. Although all of the things that we've talked about, except for our physical selves and time, are infinite. Time is infinite in a global scale, but for us as finite beings, as beings who are mortal and who only have a short amount here, we have to be very good stewards and very careful with our time. I know that's a journey I'm going on with you, is learning how to be a good steward over my time. Treat it carefully, treat it as precious, because we don't have forever to get it right. So let's be good stewards over all of those things individually, corporately, in business, professionally, with our families. Let's create systems. Let's create goals for ourselves so that we can master life and be happy, joyful, peaceful, and in balance. This has been JL on Elevated Living at elevateme.org, and this has been A Deeper Elevation. I look forward to your comments, and I'll talk to you later.